Hey, what's up? How's it going? We were talking just a couple days ago over some Twitter DMs, and you were telling me that it's, a win only lasts a day, right? You got to start things over again. Well, it was a good start for Stage 2 today. Scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the squad?
I get a 9 because we should have won 7-1, I guess. 10 if we won 7-1.
All right. I appreciate the ambition. Yeah.
How about that? We're playing good. We're playing good. But we did throw away a freebie. So that's all. But it was good. Yeah, playing good, feeling good.
Fair enough. Good,
As
but room
expected.
for improvement. Sure. Jesse, what do you got?
That freebie you're talking about, I have to imagine you're talking round number 1 where they come back in the 2v5. What happened? You guys seemed like you had it completely on lock, and then the coverage didn't seem to be there.
They just made some aggressive plays. I think once it got to a 2v3, it became a bit difficult because then like a guy was already pushed into split, and I was holding him, and then I think I flashed him and Rob called for Nick to go to try to get the kill, and then basically where Drip pushed, it was like an opening because I had to watch the door because the guy was already pushed up. But it was just small mistakes. I think the main issue was we gave them the 2 picks prior. Leading up to the execute, but it just is what it is. Honestly, I'm glad it happened the first round and not later on. Getting that out of the way just to snap everyone into it. All right, no more trolling, let's go. So yeah, I think that kind of woke everyone up, and also we already felt in control because we opened the game out. 3 picks in a matter of seconds.
It felt like the only thing the Beast Coast were really doing that was good in this matchup was just the way that they were defending Throne. And I think round 4 was the only other time that they did something that was worthwhile in this game that was notable. But you guys shut everything down, and that extended over to defense. Talk to me about how that roam game between you and Panbazoo is beginning to work. Because if Panba wasn't creating impact, it was you. Even if it was just like a minor timing thing on your end, it felt like you were kind of all over the place, and Panba was the one getting most of the credit. But talk about how the two of you guys work in tandem on that roam.
Actually, so on that roam, there's actually 4 of us roaming there. So we all kind of work together. We know our spots, what we need to hold, how we can help each other depending on what people are pressuring and whatnot. We know all their reactions. So it kind of comes down to everyone there. Tyler ends up holding the back sometimes, so there's that. But yeah, it's just I don't know, just a strat. We just all help each other.
All right, that worked. Well, I got one more question for you before we let you go. Obviously, Charlotte made you champions. You're known for your legendary work ethic, right? I think the team is known for that at this point. But I got to ask, what did you do to unwind between stages? Had to take a little bit of time off, right?
So my thing is literally I just when I have the opportunity to literally do nothing, I take that opportunity basically, because during the season, some days you feel tired, some days you're like, I don't really want to do this, but at the end of the day you have no choice. Like if I slack off in the season, it's going to bite us. So yeah, just like taking the opportunity while I can to do nothing and do whatever I want. So for me, I literally I hang out, I sleep in, I read, I watch some shows. That's about it.
All right, cool. Well, hey, good to take some
really
time
easy.
off. Good to have that balance, right? You need the balance, right, if you're going to come back and be a champion. Great start to the stage for you. Congrats. Looking forward to seeing your game next week, and good luck with the practice.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
Congrats on the win today. Back in the game. It's a little bit different, isn't it? So we were talking about this a little bit. No tack timeout called by Astralis during that whole match, but with you in there, they really don't need to, huh?
No, I mean, pretty much said what I needed to say between the rounds. It didn't really actually feel like we needed to call a timeout. It was more so just talk about it in the prep phase, and it was good.
A lot of times on defense, you were going up against the Sonics, and it felt like SQ were going for a lot of really fast kind of direct pushes where they didn't want to engage with your roams, but they wanted to hit that site. Was that something that you expected coming into this, or was that something you had to realize kind of halfway through your defenses and adjust to?
We knew that, they prep well for almost all their games. So, hitting us direct on site is probably pretty smart because, our roam is usually our strong point. So, we kind of expected it coming in. I would say overall our game plan really wasn't there as it was with DP because I was playing. So we kind of just did a lot of stuff on the fly, but we were expecting it more so direct side hits.
We didn't get to talk for too long at the Charlotte Major, but the one thing I mentioned was it was cool to see you make that transition, or it had to have been a really big step for you to want to go from player to coach after so long having to spend time in the player chair. Talk to me about what that switch is like, even though it's on super short notice and you have to find a way to kind of get back into it on with only like a little bit of time to prepare. What's it like after being a player for so long and then to kind of come back into that, even if only for one best of one?
Well, since I joined the team, about 4 months ago, I haven't really had a chance to actually play the game. It's been literally just, practice, prep, other than drills. So I haven't really, actually had a chance to even play ranked that much. So, coming in today, the biggest thing was I just told the guys I'm just going to move. I just got to outpace these guys and catch them off guard. So that was kind of my whole plan. Worked out a few rounds as well, had some good impact, I felt like. Some of those roams especially. But
yeah, for sure.
Overall, it was really just moving, just going. I just knew I had to move because I couldn't aim. So
yeah, you definitely did that. You clicked some heads as well. You put up a pretty decent stat line overall for sure for having to step in at short notice. But I want to ask you one more question before we let you go. So obviously Charlotte Major making it very deep, making it to the very end, and then not quite getting over the finish line. Coming into stage number 2, what do you think the biggest lesson the team learned from that major experience was that they can take through here to this stage?
I think one of the biggest things is making sure that whatever tempo we have for the team we want to play against, having that off the rip and not, going down early. Kind of like what happened today. It's somewhat excusable. We don't have DP. The other thing is defensive adaptation. We knew we needed to work on that after the major because DZ kind of killed us on our bank.
All right, well, there you go. Got to win today. Went the distance, but you got it done either way. Hopefully next time you'll have DP Fire back in the seat again. Until then, thanks for chatting with us and good luck in the next game.
All righty. Appreciate it, guys.
It's none other than the new blood Nuers. Well, not as new anymore. A full stage under your belt, man. A major appearance as well. But I got to ask, which was more stressful? That last round of that last game there or your majors appearance at the end of the playoffs?
Honestly, that was the most stressful I've ever been in NAL. That shit was scary. My bad.
No worries. Well, you made it through. You got the win today, so that's something. And I guess in this first one, obviously this ended up being very close, but do you feel like you were able to bring some learnings from the major into this first map today?
Confidence, definitely, and just experience. Playing in front of that crowd, I just felt so much more into it and smooth. It was feeling good today.
Cool.
I want to pick your brain a little bit about Theme Park. Obviously, you guys went here, and during the Charlotte Major, Armory Throne Room was the most successful bomb site through any map. You guys only managed to play it once. You were really favoring those top floor bomb sites. Is there a reason why you guys didn't seem to want to go to Armory Throne too often?
We knew they were very good at full clearing the whole map, and they used a lot of cheese ops like knock that you saw. So basically playing up there and having us split up top would just be just rough for us in general because they could take any part. There's a lot of openings they can take, and that's just not our go-to site, honestly. We'd rather go a niche.
So there were two people who were playing a zombie this game. It was Lax and it was you. Talk to me about the amount of impact that she has from us, the perspective of somebody who plays it a lot, because Blaz was doing it. He was essentially your counterpart on Parabellum's side. But from your POV, how crazy is it to actually have a zombie playable in pro play now?
Dude, I can cut off different doors, make sure that nobody's even there. I'll throw 2 on it. They can't even walk through it, or 30 seconds left. I'll throw it on arcade window or cafe door, and they can't go in. And it's just, and when I play Top Dragon too, I also throw it on cash door and on the Dragon window, so just waste another 20 seconds, and they have to regen everything. The op is crazy. It's gonna be banned more than Valkyria.
You might be right. That's the crazy part.
Interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that all shakes out as the stage goes on. But one more question before we let you go. Now, when we talked last stage, you were sort of kind of getting into the pro gamer life. You were sort of getting used to living in the team house. Fox, I had to put your bed sheets on for you and all that kind of stuff. So I want to update. I want a life update for Nuers. How are you doing as an adult? How's the adulting going now here going into stage 2?
Oh, the coaches taught me how to cook. I'm literally whipping up in the kitchen every night, making my own bed. Dude, I'm living life. That's all I'm doing.
What was the last thing you
going
cooked?
great.
Honest question. What was the last meal you cooked yourself?
It was probably chicken and rice. That's it.
You're
That's
getting there.
definitely 2
Okay.
days ago.
That's
2 days
healthy.
ago.
That still works, man.
I'm getting there. It's not like cake or steak or nothing
Yeah,
I'm
you're
moving
not
up.
opening a
That's all I'm
Michelin
saying.
star restaurant anytime soon, but you're making it. You're making some food. That's good.
There we go.
Yeah, no pasta, no nothing extra. I'm just sticking to the default.
Hey, that works. The default's the best thing to learn first, right? Well, congratulations on that, and congratulations on the win today, too. Looking forward to seeing your next games, and thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, sir. I'll have a good one.
You too. So yeah, 2 wins on the season. Obviously, you know, stage 1 a little bit rough. Stage 2 starting to look good. What do you think was the biggest change in terms of the approach from 1 to 2 to get you those the wins now?
Well, we're not just playing one map like theme park, so you know that definitely helps. But yeah, I mean, last stage was definitely like a wake-up call to us. I think a few of us are maybe like a little burnt out because we haven't had a break in such a long time. But other than that, that's still no excuse. We played very poorly, and we just basically put our heads down and said that we need to get better. These are our issues. This is what we need to fix going into the next stage. So let's really focus on these and let's work towards them. Let's not make excuses. Let's put the work in and get the results. But with that being said, it's really nice to win the first 2 games. We got pretty much as many points as we did last stage already. But there's still a lot of work to do. We still got a lot of games to play. So just got to keep getting better and keep getting some dubs on the board.
Yeah, so far so good.
Achieved, I see you every single round hovering that glass. You have yet to pick it. And I have a theory. Tell me if I'm wrong. Are you just hovering an operator that you guys aren't going to play so that when you go to like repick your ops, nobody's kind of overlapping? Or what's the deal? Will we ever actually see you rocking the glass?
I don't want to say we're never going to play it, but, with attacker repick, yeah, I mean, I kind of just, like, pick whatever. I mean, that's just, like, I just click on that every round, and then, it also, like, helps remind me to switch my operator, because I'm not going to use Glaz all the time or even majority of the time, right? Like Glaz is, once in a while character. So it kind of reminds me to, use my drone. Like, let's talk about what these guys are doing and then switch my operator to that. Cause like for me and for like the past few seasons, I played mostly sledge. And, that was kind of my default. So now I'm just trying to, venture out and play a bunch of other operators and stuff, especially when you don't need sledge all the time. So,
talk to me a bit about your approach coming into to this stage compared to last stage. We talked to Gio in an interview from a little while ago where he mentioned there might have been a problem with best of ones and actually wanting to take chances in a format like this where sometimes there aren't nearly as many rounds, you don't have nearly as much of a backup plan in case something goes wrong. I was wondering if there was maybe a bit of fear about how that was going to work in the last stage. Is that what it was? And is that something that you guys think you're able to overcome for league play going into this stage?
Yeah, so I mean, I definitely think that has a little bit to do with it, just because in best of ones, you don't have that much breathing room, especially if you start out on like a defender-sided map and you start attack, like you don't have that much to play around with. You need every round basically. So if you make a mistake and it costs you a round, like that's a big round, just because it's a best of one, first to 7 rounds. So I mean, I definitely think that has a little bit to do with it. So us like coming out and experimenting more, I think would definitely like help us. And it is a best of one. You're going to lose some games, so just go out, make a play. If you think it works, you think it works. You know what I mean? Like you can't beat yourself up over it too much, and just play free. Just play free flow basically.
True enough. Well, I got one more question before we let you go here. One thing I've been noticing, and one thing you're kind of known for, is your skill with grenades. So I'm kind of curious, like, where does that come from? Do you sit on maps by yourself late at night, just throwing grenades, finding the angles, or is it something that kind of comes naturally to you?
No, yeah. So it honestly comes naturally to me. A lot of people have asked me, do I practice these nades in custom maps and stuff like that? And the truth is, like, honestly, I don't. I've maybe practiced I've practiced my underneath nades a little bit just because you got to get the timing right for that. But other than that, I mean, most of these nades just come naturally. I've played a lot of ranked, so that like I practice it in there if anything. That's like my practice area for it rather than custom games and stuff. So, and obviously when we scrim, I practice my nades there too. So I just basically play and just use them in the moment, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Fair enough. Interesting. Simple geometry. He just sees the angles. Wow. All right. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. Congrats on the win again today, and looking forward to the games next week.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Redeemer, you had to be sweating a little bit at the beginning of that one, huh?
Yeah, it was definitely sweaty in the beginning, but I'm glad we were able to close it out. Yep.
And go ahead.
Well, Redeemer, I mean, I wanted to ask you about this map because it seems like people keep bringing you guys to Theme Park, and you guys have been so dominant on it so far since it's introduced. I believe this is your 5th win in a row since it's been reintroduced to the map pool. So tell me, what is it about this map that you guys seem to do so well on with it?
I feel like it's just a good balance of our play style. Like, we have a little bit of gunners on our team, so Theme Park allows us to do that. There's also a little bit of strategy on Theme Park, so I think it just really fits our play style really well. I think some teams don't have it figured out, so we're down to go to Theme Park. We like when teams take us there.
I want to get it from your perspective too, because we'll see a zombie played on literally every map these days, but why specifically on Theme Park is she so prevalent? And for you guys in particular, is there any reason why you'll switch it between 2 people playing it, like as opposed to most teams that'll only have 1 person playing the operator?
Yeah, so I think she's like really good on Theme Park just because there's a lot of rotations on theme, so she just allows a little bit more utility to slow down those pushes or kind of that randomness that Theme Park provides. But then at the same time, you know, she's got like the shield, so it's great for defense as well. It kind of acts as a shield. So the reason why we kind of swap is like depending on how we're looking to play her that bomb site, like whether we want her a little bit more aggressive or we want a little bit more defense, that just kind of determines who's going to be playing that up. So that's why we switch.
All right. One more question for you before I let you go. Now, obviously, Oxygen, great stage 1, great run at the major as well. Coming into stage 2, I'm curious, what is kind of the biggest takeaway that you got as a squad from the major results that you could bring into stage 2?
I mean, obviously, we were happy with how well we did at the major, but I don't think by any means we were ecstatic about it. I think we definitely kind of underperformed there at the end. And I think the biggest thing here is just like being complacent. Like we did really well stage 2, we did really well at the major. It's really easy to be complacent at that point in time because a lot of teams kind of aim for that top spot. So I think the biggest thing here is making sure we don't slow down on the gas. We hit the pedal to the metal and we keep grinding and making sure that teams don't catch up to us. So consistency for sure, and then complacency.
All right, consistency to take down the complacency. I like to hear it. Thanks for talking
100%.
with us. Congrats on the win today. Yeah, good luck next week.
Appreciate it.